Hello and welcome to Wildin Out, your THL Wild Show. I am your host, ItsMeMikeV, and I am here with NHL NJ Fan 1, Memnarch, and Lefty 211. Yeah, it's a big focus of this show to not only cover the THL Wild series, but to introduce new players to Wild. So anybody who's interested in getting into the series or the game mode, we want to introduce you, to a new deck each week. Something affordable, something reasonable. Nothing like Cube Lock or Reno Mate that's going to have 11K dust. So towards the end of the show, we're gonna feature a deck that hopefully, if somebody who is interested in playing Wild after this can go out and craft.
All right, I can start if you want. It's me.
It seems like we're having technical issues. Just give us 1 second.
Yeah. Oh. Hey. Yeah, test.
They're saying test if anybody can hear them, so I'm guessing the response is no. Yeah, yes, Desharma, we're using slabs.
Wait, let me say something again.
Okay, it sounds like it seems like you.
Okay, it works for me. I just tested it.
Awesome. All right, so NHL NJ Fan 1 had done a recap, so we're gonna do host decks to start off with. We're gonna just talk about what we've been playing, followed by a little meta update. Just talk about the THL Wild meta, then maybe the actual Wild meta itself, followed by this past weekend's Wild tournament, which was the first big Wild tournament of the year. Then, if you are a player in THL Wild, we missed week 1, so we're going to do a week 1 recap, a week 2 recap, and then week 3 predictions. So we have a lot to get through. And then we did power rankings for Brown and Green Conference, followed by deck of the week, which I've already talked about. So we're going to start off with host decks. Who'd like to go first?
Yeah, I volunteered.
All right, Memnarch, it's all on you.
All right, so do you have the list on the screen? I really like Galacron Warrior, but Arena Priest is also one of my favorites. So, oh god, I love this deck so much. So, this list in particular was one of my favorite. Like, it's one of my favorite lists I'm playing right now. Like, it just feels so strong. The Pirate package on for the early game with the Galacron pressure, it's so strong. It's actually incredible how strong it is. Okay, so let me talk a bit about this. In the meta right now. Okay, so I am 14-2 against Mage with this list,
God damn.
and this is highlight. Like most of my opponents are top 50, top 100 legend players. I queue into top 10 a lot as well. Like there's a lot of mages in top 10. So, and this list is very strong into both Reno and regular quest. The pirate package in the early game just it allows you to establish a presence, and then the Galacron is just pressure, and it doesn't lose to a single like board clear or it doesn't or weapon removal like the other pirate warrior does. Like the meta's shifted a lot to include weapon removal and volcanic potions and flame wards from the mages. So this list is much better due to how not board centric it is compared to the other pirate decks. I mean, do you want to talk about like matchups, or do you want me to talk more about how strong it is? Okay. Reno Priest. This is the heal burn. This is one of my favorite lists. When I played this list in the beginning, there was a lot of Druid and some Odd Warrior, and this list was really good into both. Mainly because the Velen with Mirage is all the damage you could ever want. It's the damage turns. It goes ping, or like when you have Roz and Anduin online, it goes ping, Velen, ping, Mirage, ping with an M-tick. You have 2 mana left over, and your pings are doing 8 damage each, and you've already dealt 14. So if you have a flash heal with How Can I Phantasm that deals 20 damage plus an 8 damage ping, so the damage adds up really quickly. Like I've done 100 damage turns with this list.
Yeah.
And
okay.
That takes a bit of work.
I think my mic should be working now. I believe the stream can hear me. Is that right?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear? Can you guys hear him?
Okay.
All
you
right,
guys
sweet.
can hear me.
Great.
Okay.
Right.
I can cover some of my decks next. So one of the things I've been playing for a little bit was also my version of Reno Priest. Unlike Memnarch, I went more for a dragon-based build. And one of the things I really like to do is run Geppetto. The reason why I like Geppetto is because there's so many good pulls. Like, even if you pull a dragon, say you pull Dragon Operative or whatever, you're still gaining a card because often those cards either cycle or affect the board in some way, and that's really good. If you really want the nuts, you can pull Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, and that's 3 extra Raza pings, or Anduin pings really, just for 1 mana, which is insane. And yeah, I've just been really enjoying the list. I am a NHL fan. Sorry about that. There was a bit of confusion earlier.
We'll get it. People will get to know your guys' voices, and then it'll flow. It's just going to take. We're 10 minutes into the episode, so
yeah. Unfortunately, I think Lefty is going to have to sit this one out since minutes before the stream, his microphone fell apart in his hands.
We'll see. Oh, did it? It
Yes.
fell apart completely?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
his
okay.
mic just fell apart. So
Yeah, we were having some echo issues too. So
yeah, F's in the chat
technical
for Lefty.
yeah, God bless.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cheat for my next list. I've been playing a lot. Quest Mage. This is pretty close to the standard list. The only things that I changed really were Star Scryers over the Arcane Intellect and an Elemental Evocation. I first saw Jack was trying out Star Scryers, and he really liked it and was trying to fit the second one in. So I figured, let me see if I can fit the second one in and how it felt. And so far, I haven't really missed Elemental Evocation. It's nice to get something on the board, even if it gets pinged down. Just saving your face from, the 2 damage from Demon Hunter is pretty good. And against decks that don't have those pings, in the early game sometimes, 3 damage is a lot. So
Yeah.
And it cycles really well. Getting a spell that either helps you finish your quest or draw more cards that help you finish your quest is really good. So I recommend trying Star Scryers. I didn't do too much else different, but yeah.
How many spells do you have now?
Let's see. Outside of the quest, you have 6 spells.
Okay, so that makes
Or
your
no,
book way
sorry,
better.
8 spells.
Yeah.
I run this exact same list except for 1 Star Scryer, so it's it's pretty similar. And Star Scryer is great, like you're saying with the cycle. I mean, I've enjoyed the card. I think it fits perfectly.
Yeah. The other deck that I've been playing a bit of is Pirate Warrior. So this is Jonah Raw's standard list. We'll be talking a bit about this deck more later, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. I feel like it has a game against most decks right now, other than Q Block, because taunts make you sad. But you still have a good chance of high rolling there and getting them. The nice thing is this deck does counter Odd Demon Hunter, which is currently like one of the villains of Wild right now, which is really nice.
Odd Demon Hunters everywhere.
It really is. So, Mike, do you want to cover some of your decks?
Yeah. So let's go with Token Druid first. So I've been playing a Token Druid deck that is actually very similar to Spell Druid in Standard, but it's taking advantage of some of the better spells that Druid runs. Branching Paths takes advantage of Death Knight, Malfurion. I'm actually not running Kael'thas in the deck. There is a variation that runs Kael'thas. My teammate Ron Mexico has been experimenting with the Kael'thas version. I just had no issue going from I laddered on the first day of the season all the way to Diamond with this deck, and I think with 1 loss. It just there's just so little AOE that I found. It was amazing. This deck makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boards. You're bound to stick one of them. As long as you stick one board for that double Savage Roar, or even just 1 Savage Roar, it's over. But I do think that the Kael'thas version does have merit, and the Kael'thas version is a Barnes deck. You're just trying to get Barnes on 5 and draw Kael'thas out, and then just go off. But this deck did see some. It saw some difficulty, once I started to face harder opponents. So I'm wondering the merit of it after that. And my other deck was the Raza Burn Heal that Memnarch already talked about. I was playing that in the Wild Series. It's actually Memnarch's list that I took before we even decided to do this show. I went to Memnarch's list and I jacked his list. But I found it was great. I'd been playing the Dragon Raza Priest, and I just liked, the Velan Mirage Caller combo. It was fantastic with Flash Heal, reducing it with Thracian. It was a fantastic list. You had an alternate to just trying to draw your combo pieces. So, yeah.
So
I've stolen wins from this list with this list because they're not suspecting the 20 burn reach from heal spells.
Yeah, the burn is insane.
Yeah.
And it definitely helps a ton, especially in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So you guys want to move on to meta updates?
Yeah. Let's talk about the meta a bit.
Yeah.
So with the whole new expansion, things have changed. There's new decks. The most prevalent is Odd Demon Hunter. A lot of people have been playing that.
Yes.
There's a bunch of different builds going around.
Insane.
Yeah. There's people running Fireflies, a pirate package. There's Slithed Swarmers getting in decks now.
Yep.
Dude, Syphilis Swarmer's actually genius. I put that in Odd Rogue and it felt bad because of the weapon charges. It was really hard to, use because you always want to stab something. And the Syphilis Swarmer, you kind of need the weapon charge for it to work. So it made for very awkward turns. Oh, a Demon Hunter. It's just 1 mana.
Yeah, it's pretty ingenious. You know, whoever noticed that, I give props to, because it's not, it wasn't necessarily a well used card before this.
Yeah. Another one of the big decks that showed up late last month was something I already spoke about. Pirate Warrior. Pirate Warrior didn't really focus on only Ankar before. You had to run other weapons, usually Deathspite, and it didn't feel like it felt explosive, but it wasn't always as consistent because you could often miss with your weapons, like with your weapon buffs, and that kind of sucked. Now, though, you have Corsair Cache, and you can basically build the deck around your best card in Ankar. And that results in you building like 8 attack, 8 durability Ankars to, take down your opponent a la Kingsbane Rogue almost, except with even more gas, which is insane. Jonah Rod hit #1 legend with it. There have been a few people. I know Memnarch has also done very well with the list.
Yeah, I was going to say Memnarch has the #1 legend list himself.
I mean, I stole Jonah's, like, card for card. So, I mean, he did it on EU and I did it on NA, so.
Yeah, so. It's fine. It's still better than hitting #1 with Sniplock, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, who does that?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. There's also Token Druid, which Mike has discussed. Token Druid has been seeing some success, but there aren't a lot of people playing it. Feels like it's a really unrefined archetype right now. We'll see what happens in that development over the coming weeks, I guess. And the other big deck that stuck out was Discard Warlock. There's a bunch of different lists. The Chinese started at first with some weird list running Cataclysms. But people people in other regions saw that and were like, nah, you don't run Cataclysm. So you have a bunch of lists that have been refined. People are mostly settling on stuff similar to Corbett's list, which unfortunately we don't have. But it's centered on Canrathad Ebonlock. And the idea is you live and die by your high rolls while cheating out a bunch of cheap demons through Canrathad.
Yeah, and what's interesting about Disco Lock is, I mean, it's not even that interesting. I mean, it is interesting. They're not using the quest. They're not using really the legendaries that, in the past you've seen in Disco Lock. It's a refined list, but I think, some of the recent cards from Ashes are what really put the deck over the top, like Hand of Gul'dan and Nightshade Matron. It's actually a very affordable deck. You would think, the legendaries that were in the past Disco Lock decks would be featured, but they're not. They're just completely ignored. So, I think that's great, for a new wild player. Say it again?
A lot of people aren't running stuff like Clutch Mother Zavis. So,
it's too slow.
Yeah, like a lot of those legendaries just aren't very good in the deck because it's so aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. Just slow it down. In the quest too. I mean,
that quest is the slowest thing.
Yeah, quest is just way too slow for the deck. And you were talking about Token Druid. I worry with Token Druid that if people started attacking against it, it would just fall off. I really think that it got by because it was just a surprise factor. When you're playing Druid, people are expecting J Druid. They're not expecting a token list. I think if people started to expect it and they just teched a little more AoE, it would be over, because I was already running into trouble. I can't imagine. You really only have one shot, you only have 2 Savage Roars. You need them both, really, I can't imagine it being a truly competitive list compared to what, the caliber of Wild.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to say until we see more of it being played, really.
It's true.
The strengths of it are there. Like,
yeah,
it's definitely like the mid-range kill that can like deliver will always make it like not so much like out. It'll always make it like almost viable, if not viable.
Yeah,
like that threat is so strong that if the right cards get printed in the future, it'll probably be it might come back into the meta in full force. Like it's almost there, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Let's move on to the Wild tournament. Unless you guys have anything else to talk about in the meta.
I think we're ready to move on.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the Wild tournament this past weekend.
So, Memnarch was talking about how there was a lot of drama for the tournament, and we're probably not going to focus on that too much.
Yeah, we're not going to be that kind of show that, focuses on personal drama.
Yeah. If you want to find out what happened, there's plenty of stuff on Twitter. I'm not going to say any names. Plenty of Wild streamers have discussed it. You can look at their VODs too. But as for us, given the scope of the whole tournament, we decided to focus on the top 8. So this was the way the top 8 shaped up. One of the big things of note was that there was no rogue in the top 32. So the top 32 got out of the Swiss rounds, and none of those people had rogue at all. I don't think this really speaks to, well, Memnarch was actually discussing this with me about rogue strengths or weaknesses. It's just that there's a lot of other decks right now that do the same thing rogue does.
Mm-hmm. Like, our rogue is always going to be like this threat. Like, it's never going to go away, truly. Like, it has, it's the best comparison is the Odd Demon Hunter right now. Yeah, it's Odd Rogue in Wild. Like, there's some Kingsbane. If Kingsbane ever comes back, it's because of Druid or Warlock becoming super prevalent, Priest becoming prevalent. And, how do I put this? Odd Rogue is very close to being, it's very close to being Demon Hunter right now. It's just slightly worse. And that slightly worse means that no one's going to play it.
Exactly.
Going first with Odd Rogue, it feels better than going first with Demon Hunter, but going second, you'd rather be the Demon Hunter, so much more. You'd rather be the Demon Hunter. It's not close. Odd Rogue going second is one of the worst things in the game. If I remember correctly, I had 45% going second and 70-something going first. It's such a drastic difference.
To answer your question, maybe there were none. Quest Rogue being viable, probably not. Quest Rogue, the original Quest, is just too slow right now. Even against decks that were pure control, like Jade Druid, they can still outvalue you in the late game, unfortunately, which means Quest Rogue doesn't stand a chance. To add on to Rogue, though, Kingsbane is the other big deck, like Memnarch mentioned, and Kingsbane right now is kind of getting outclassed by Pirate Warrior. They both do similar things with the explosive starts and the longevity of their weapon, but Pirate Warrior just is more consistent, so there's no real reason to play Kingsbane over Pirates.
Yeah, Pirate's so much better than Kingsbane. When I was Pirate or Warrior was always favoring the Odd Rogue, and Odd Rogue was always favoring the Kingsbane. So, and because of the sheer aggression of Pirate Warrior is not to be Kingsbane wins because it gets value through the weapon, and that's good and all, except into other aggro decks where you're just if you run into an Odd Paladin or a Mech Paladin as Kingsbane, you're done. No question. If you run into a Pirate Warrior, you're dead. With Pirate Warrior, you actually have a really good chance against other aggro decks, unlike Kingsbane. So that's where the main difference comes in.
Yeah, Pirate Warrior just has so much more fuel now.
Yeah.
And did we already mention the Mage Quest was banned at this tournament, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah, we didn't say that. Mage Quest and Bargoth are banned.
Yes. Just making sure, because it obviously you would expect a lot of Quest Mages, but it was banned for this tournament. Otherwise, there would probably be, 10 Quest Mages there.
Or would be 8. Okay. There's no reason not to bring Quest Mage.
Yeah.
They have to ban it. If they don't ban it, you queue up Quest Mage almost as a free win.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's over half the format. And you don't even if you run to a 4-act aggro, and if they don't ban Quest Mage, there's a fairly good chance in 3 games that you can high roll your way to a single victory with Quest Mage. Like the deck is very high roll, like very powerful, and it has that extreme high roll turn 4 kill.
Yeah.
So you can't really play around that. So
Yeah, it's just way too scammy.
Yeah.
They nerfed the quest, but they printed evocation, so it's it's they balanced it out,
Yeah.
And we mentioned no rogues in the tournament making a top 32, but no paladins made it either, which speaks to the state of paladin in a while. I think.
Dude, Odd Paladin is really good. Like
Odd Paladin and Mech Paladin, I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Memnarch.
All right, so Odd Paladin is actually really good into other aggro decks, except for Secret Mage. But against the Pyro Warrior loses. Like, it's not close. Like, they can't deal with the 1/1s at all. And if their 1/1s start value trading because of Warcourse guy and Quartermaster, you can't get board back. Like, when Teal is board against an Odd Paladin, it's almost impossible to get back in the aggro mirror. Like, that hero power is just too good. And Mech Paladin has the explosiveness. Like, if you get a double buff opener hand and then just make a giant taunt minion, usually you kind of just win because no one runs silence.
But it's a high rolly deck. It is.
Yeah,
it can be. You need to draw your draws like Divines. You need to draw cards that can draw because you're going to run your hand out quick.
Divine Favor, man.
Yeah, Divine Favor. That's what I was looking for. Because if you build that one big mech and it gets shut down, your game is gone. Until if you have a chance to build another one, that's great. But a lot of times you don't.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why we don't see Mech Paladin really make the top 8 either. If you noticed, every single person in the top 8 they brought Cube or Warlock. Sorry, every single one brought Warlock, and most Warlock decks, Mechthune and Cube especially, are hard counters to Mech Paladin. Plague of Flames kind of just destroys the deck, and Warlock is often going to keep that. So Paladin has to pray that either the Warlock doesn't have it or they can get Divine Favor. It's just a super hard matchup. And in this sort of meta where, it shows that you have to pretty much bring Warlock of some form, it's very difficult for Mech Paladin to get far.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, Warlock has the best defense in the game. Like, Plague of Flames defiles Dark Skies. Like, the problem with Warlock is it doesn't have a mid game. It has the best win condition in the game with Mechthune and Gul'dan. But getting there, there's this turns 4 through 9 where you kind of need Void Caller or Skull or else it doesn't do anything.
I was gonna say Void Caller is your mid game.
Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of incredible just how much Warlock in general relies on Caller in most of its decks. Reno Lock kind of fixes that problem at the cost of having a strong end game. Reno Lock's just way worse cube at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now,
right,
something of note is that 2 people brought Disco Zoo, Discard Zoo.
Disco Zoo.
I didn't look into the actual builds of them, but they were both fairly aggressive. And I remember the problem with Discard Warlock really is that it kind of beats itself. And I know at least one person on stream within the top 32 lost because they low rolled so hard. So it's unusual to see that 2 people were able to get into the top 8 with Discard Zoo, really, because that deck is so feast or famine on itself.
Yeah.
Its good matches are very good though.
They are, but more often than not, when you lose those matches, it's not because of what your opponent did, but what you didn't want to discard.
I remember some games where you hit the Hand of Gul'dan, some games where you hit anything but the Hand of Gul'dan, and you have to cast it on 6 to get anything going. It's so bad. The high roll compared to the low roll is so staggering now. Like,
Yeah, it's such a
It's so-
polarizing deck.
yeah.
So, another thing of note
You guys,
is the
Okay.
the hunter decks. Someone got in with Death Rattle Hunter, which
is
really is
impressive.
seeing a lot of play. In
Is that the
Highlight.
porcupine version?
Yes, with porcupines.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah, porcupines and
I
Tehran.
didn't see that list. That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they got past the top 8. So it'll be interesting to see, if that list gets refined a bit more. I personally think
Yeah.
it's a card or two off from being like a viable deck in Wild right now. But Death Rattle Hunter is certainly getting there, and there's a lot of potential in it.
Dude, eventually, Blizzard's going to print enough mid range for a Hunter that Reno Hunter's going to be the best pick on ladder. Like,
Yeah, seriously.
Well, Reno Hunter was actually brought in the winning lineup too.
dude, it's actually not bad. Like, it actually crushes aggro, and DK Rexar is actually really good against anything but Reno Priest and Warlock.
I see a lot of lists running Reno and Zul'jin. Or not Reno, sorry, DK Rexar and Zul'jin. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just, getting that second wave of spells and then getting all that value from Rexar.
Hunter
It's
just
insane.
needs early game. Hunter does have some early game. It's not so much the early game that's the problem. It's that they need some sort of package that they can settle on to complete an entire deck. Like right now with Reno, you have either the secret build or the dragon build. And you can't fit both because both packages are too big. But neither package is big enough to go all in on. So it's like in an awkward spot. You have the early game with the new 1/3.
You got Candle Shot, Sharpshooter.
You have Alley Cat.
Spring
It's not
Claw.
that good. I mean, what's really good on one? Like, do you run patches? Like, you don't run patches, so I mean, you have to rely on your individual one drops.
I mean, Spring Claw is, situational, but
Yeah.
I think,
Spring Paw is
Yeah.
very good comboed with other cards in the late game and mid game as well, though.
yeah, I was going to say it's not necessarily a one drop on one, but it's, I think Dwarven Sharpshooter is a good one drop.
Yeah, Dwarven Sharpshooters are an excellent one drop right now. It's just that outside of Reno Hunter, there isn't really a deck in Wild for them.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to check out that Death Rattle list after this show. I'm fascinated by that.
for sure. The other decks that the winner ended up bringing was Luna's Pocket Galaxy Reno Mage and Reno Priest. So
That's not surprising.
I wouldn't say so either. Luna's Pocket Galaxy was considered before the tournament to be one of the best decks to bring,
Yeah.
as was Reno Priest.
I mean, I'm
Yep.
seeing a lot of Lunar Pocket Galaxy Mage on ladder. Like, a lot of it.
It's a super underrated deck.
Yeah. I mean, it gets outclassed. I mean, it doesn't even get outclassed by Quest that much because Quest got slower. And I should say Quest Reno. Quest Mage is still horrendously unfavored.
Yeah, Quest Mage just wrecks it, which is why, in certain spots on ladder, you might not see it as much. But it really is a good deck outside of that one miserable matchup. So,
Yeah.
then-
So,
the last deck they brought was Mechathune Lock, which we all know how it does super well into control. Has a little bit of game against aggro. And
mean, It depends on the aggro. Board-based aggro it does a lot better against reach-based aggro, like Secret Mage,
Pirate
Demon Hunter, Pirate Warrior. It's so much worse.
yeah, it's an incredibly difficult matchup for them.
yeah.
But the fact that it
I
does
think,
so well against
yeah.
control, and a lot of the top decks are like these late game decks, means it does have a place in the tournament and ladder meta.
Yeah, like I feel scared. I feel like I'm needed to run a Warlock deck because Warlock's just so good, but I can't decide between like Cube or Thune. Like,
Yeah, it's a tough choice.
yeah, like Cube Block kind of is like the ultimate defensive deck, but it's so weak into combo. While Thune is it's a combo deck, so it's good into basically anything controlish, but it's so
Yeah.
bad, or it's not so bad, but it's not amazing into aggro.
No. No, I mean it has heal, but it just it crumples. You know,
Yeah.
I mean you have to. It's a while before you get Reno online.
Yeah.
All right, you guys want to move on to week 1 recap?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start
All
with
right.
the Brown Conference then.
Sounds good.
So we are starting with week 1. So first matchup we'll be discussing is Wild THL Fanatics versus Sea of Cheese. This was a very dominant match where Wild THL Fanatics really showed their strength against Sea of Cheese with a 12-2 win.
Damn.
2 sweeps. There was also a 3-2 win between Electric Sheep City and Sage. So, this was by far the most dominant matchup in the Brown Conference.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Wild THL Fanatics here. You know, Dr. Bombs is he's on my pro team, and he's a fantastic player. He's been pulling matches in the clutch. I mean, I know Sage. Sage is a great player in THL, and obviously he put out a good showing there. Losing 3-2, at least you get those 2 points. But 12-2 is it's a tough loss for Sea of Cheese. And it looks like we can't see Cone's ban, but Siege Van Paladin, which is an interesting ban.
Didn't seem to work out though, I'd say.
No, that's what I'm saying.
So,
when you have Mage,
Warrior, Rogue, Mage, Druid. So chances are it's Pirate Warrior, Auto Rogue, Secret Mage, all which are bad. Secret Mage isn't bad. Maybe it's a Quest Mage. All those are. If it's Quest Mage, then it's definitely bad to Odd Paladin, which
yeah,
may have been what he brought. Like against Mech, it's kind of a toss up.
yeah.
But
Wild THL Fanatics is they're performing well.
Ooh, they chose not to ban Quest Mage.
Yeah,
That's
Quest Mage wasn't a choice. They went with banning a Mech Paladin instead.
Mech Paladin, okay.
Mm-hmm. So,
well, it's a scary deck.
Yeah. Didn't seem to work out this time, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
And you guys said you knew Electric Sheep City from Wild.
He streams Wild. Yep.
Yes. We're also familiar with Mike Lowe in Wild as well.
Mm-hmm.
The other guys, THL knows them for the most part.
Yeah, we know.
So.
Siege and Sage and they're pretty much the same name, but
yeah, it's possible that they're just getting used to the Wild format and meta. So sometimes that takes like a week or two to really get used to.
Yeah, that could be a toss up. We can blame that. I think sometimes that's like underplaying. Like like my team, I think we're not doing great, and like I play a lot of Wild, and I don't like. I think we just lost. I don't want to put it on them and say, well, you guys aren't familiar with Wild, so that's why you lost. Like I don't know. But I understand what you're saying. I understand that, it might just be that they're getting used to the Wild meta and that the other players play more Wild. But I also think sometimes when we say that it's possible that we're kind of, underplaying them by saying they're more standard players. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's difficult to say. I do know that there are players within the series, though, that this is their first real deep dive into Wild, I'd say. So it's a fair assessment in some cases as well.
No, like I played Duin this week, and obviously Duin has infinite more Wild experience than me. I was outclassed by a mile. I can definitely say that. That in that experience, yes. Like I don't play enough Wild to stand up to that, but yeah. Sometimes I can't speak for other players, and say they don't play enough Wild. But yeah, I understand.
Okay.
All right,
let's
you guys
move on
have
to the next one.
Yeah, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, next up we have Born to Be Wild versus At Least We Have Chicken.
And this is my team. Yeah, we had a rough matchup. I faced Danny Donuts, and Danny Donuts is a fantastic player.
They all
I
have the same lineup.
Yeah. You know what? They all brought Galacron Warrior, which I think we underestimated. We couldn't believe it. And we were submitting decks, and we were watching the lineups pop up, and we're like, wait a minute, hold on, this is the exact same lineup as the other one, and it gave time for for Shadow Ranger to counter that lineup and just gamble on the third player, hopefully bringing the same lineup, and he actually won. But yeah, Danny Donuts is a fantastic player, and I'm not upset that I lost to him. When I lose to somebody who's got skill, I'm never upset.
Yeah, it's a team entirely made up of Legend Wild players. I know Craig of Canada streams as well.
Yeah, Craig of Canada was on my pro team last season. He's a great guy. I know Ron Mexico had a frustrating match against him for Ron, but Craig got the win. And this is a strong team, Born to Be Wild. It's definitely a strong team. But I can say for At Least We Have Chicken that, we're really serious. We have a rough start, and I mean, obviously we're not at week 2 yet. We're only talking about week 1 right now, but you can see from our records, we screen capped at week 2, so you can see 0-2, 2-0, 0-2.
Spoilers.
Yeah, a little bit of spoilers there.
Yeah.
But I can just say that we're definitely serious about winning. So it's a rough start, but
just close your eyes. You don't need to see the spoilers that way.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next match.
Yeah.
So we had Gonna Be Rich versus Detroit versus everybody. On Gonna Be Rich, there's a few players that are known in Wild. Blase Blase is a fairly high Legend Wild player. He's done very well on ladder in the past. Beryllium, also known for his really odd decks. We have his Paladin here to share as well.
Yeah, this Paladin list was...
we will just move this over. There you go.
It made me want to craft some cards that I don't have just to play it, but I
That's an Exodia Paladin list if I've ever seen one. Yeah.
It's quite the Exodia Paladin list, too.
Yeah.
You have the Last Kaleidosaur also in there. It's a super creative and interesting list. He even runs Cold Lights. Didn't help that Duin posted a list on Twitter on Monday. You're right, though.
Duin also played the same list as last week, I believe.
For people who don't see the combo, the Librams are going to cost 0 eventually, and you'll get 2 coins from the License Adventure. Like, you're never completing the Last Kaleidosaur until you got your coins. So you got 2 coins and 2 0-mana spells with the, what's it called?
Libram of Wisdom.
Yeah, Libram of Wisdom. Because your Aldor Attendant's the one that reduces the cost of it. All right, I need to remember the names. But
Aldor Attendant and Aldor Truth Seeker.
Yeah, so eventually you'll have 2 coins in hand, or 1 coin. I think you only need 1 coin. And 2 0-mana... Oh, what's it called? 2 0-mana Libram of Wisdoms. Then you play Auctioneer Beardo, Hero Power, Coin, Hero Power, and then Libram, Hero Power, and you win. Like, it's very clever.
It is. It's very clever.
It's a bit slow, but there's ways of getting there with all the draw and Galvadon keeping you in the game as a threat.
Yeah. Galvadon. Yeah.
I mean, you have Libram of Justice, as a little AoE, and Libram of Hope, obviously, is some heal.
Pyromancer works excellent in this kind of list. You have Subdue, you have Libram of Justice for a full clear.
You have Crystal, you have Kangor, with Libram of Hope.
Yeah, Lever of Wisdom combos as well with Wild Pyromancer after getting a bunch from Lady Leodrin is huge.
Yeah.
You can easily do like 6-7 damage to the board to clear everything.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful combo.
Yeah, Libram of Justice and Pyromancer are a great combo.
So, super interesting deck. Something to look into, and I know at least one other player. I don't know if she's in here watching right now. Based Inc. brought this week too as well, and also won her games with it.
Really? That's fantastic.
Like, this is a definite counter Q deck. Like it's so good into Cube. Like, this actually destroys Cube. Like, Cube needs to have a collar or skull early, or else they just lose. There's not much you can do.
Super interesting deck.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this was a tough matchup in terms of the teams. I mean, these are both excellent teams. Detroit versus everybody lost, but Man at Arms, MTG Squirrel, and Dune are both all great players, and
they're very well known in Wild as well.
Yeah, they put up a good fight, and they're still in the running. They're still a great team, and Gonna Be Rich is we're gonna show our power rankings later, but this was definitely a battle of two of the better teams in the conference. Early on, for week one, it's a tough schedule to start week one. Fighting one of the better teams in the conference. For both of them.
All right. Next matchup was Explosive Sheep versus Waygate to Hell. So here, Waygate did very well. 2 matches, including 1 sweep. Neji Boston helped pull a win against Gangplank just to keep Explosive Sheep in the game. One of the other things of note with this series is Volkai's Shaman, which we'll pull up right now. So he brought a Quest Cthulhu Shaman. An interesting build considering Cthulhu Shaman doesn't really see much other play.
Yeah, I thought that's fascinating. Cthulhu Shaman is definitely a rare deck.
Now, an interesting thing to note is that it seems like there's a lot of weird choices, or just interesting choices in general. Cheaty Ankle Biter. You have Fungal Enchanter, Hot Spring Guardian. There's a lot of healing as well, and even Life Drinker. And it kind of adds up to where Shutterwalk is almost a pseudo Reno, really.
Yeah, and you're getting that Cheaty Ankle Biter is
Shutterwalk
hanging.
If Shutterwalk here makes your Cthulhu huge, like think of look at all the, I can see this game plan, it's just getting there. The healing makes a lot of sense, but there's no card draw, so
yeah, no card draw, no board clears.
It just feels like
you're really reliant on whatever you pull from things like Stonehill Defender.
Stonehill Defender. You got Sandstorm Elemental, but that's for small minions.
I'd be interested to see something like Corpse Taker possibly in a list like this, because you're already running taunts, you're running Lifesteal.
No Ziliax, so
no Ziliax either. It's possible that this could be a budget list, but
he's got Twin Emperor. I mean, I guess if he already had these cards, but he's got Twin Emperor Veclor, and
actually Doomcaller means you can go infinite with.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Doomcaller.
This is very much something like a Jade Druid counter, possibly, if you can get there first.
Yeah, the infinite Shutterwalk.
Is this infinite actually? You play Cthulhu, you play Doomcaller.
Well,
Shutterwalk.
Then you play Cthulhu again, and then you Shutterwalk to get back. Yeah, you have up to 4 Cthulhu's in this list.
Yeah.
It's not infinite, but
4
pretty
plenty.
pretty
And
deadly.
Cthulhu's going to be like a 60-60 something.
Yeah, at some point it's practically Exodia.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, inevitability is definitely on this guy's side.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might actually try this list out just for fun.
Mhm.
yeah. You don't want to bring Odd Warrior into this for sure.
No, that would be miserable.
Yeah.
Good
So,
odd boy.
yeah. Unfortunately, Volkai didn't get to win any games. We don't know if he played his shaman or not, but it's something to look at in the upcoming weeks. Really.
Yeah, he had a tough matchup. Reverb and the sweep. Reverb's 2-0.
Reverb's
Playing
just a
well.
great
Wiggy-
player.
Yeah, Reverb's a great player.
He played the shaman.
Oh, yeah, Reverb says he played the shaman. Okay.
Okay. So it sounds
So-
like he does need quite a bit of refinement if he wants to go and grab some wins with this list. If that's the case, but it's possible there could be something there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's ingenious, like in terms of, I just think anybody who's building an archetype, I mean, it's not a brand new archetype. Cthulhu anything is, but combining the quest, the Battlecry quest and Shutterwalk, I think I just like creativity, because I'm not taking the time to do that. I'm net decking.
Is that better
Well,
than Jade Shaman? Depends on the Jade Shaman, really. Like, are you playing to lock out the opponent with Lothebs and?
I think Jay Shaman is better than this.
This needs fencing coach.
Yeah,
That's-
fencing
hey.
coach could work, because
That's
then
actually-
you can actually double Battlecry Cthulhu. Right now you
That'd be
can't.
I don't think you need double
Corrupt
battle cry Cthulhu, but
I mean, it's one way to get, the get your opponent dead faster, I guess.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you kill your
Yeah.
opponent sooner, which is always better. But yeah, something to look out for, I guess. Okay.
All right, you guys have anything else to say about this matchup, or
No.
all right?
I think we're ready to move on to the Green Conference.
Yeah, Green Conference sounds good.
Okay, Green Conference. So the first match we'll be talking about is F2L Viridian versus Microsquad, my team. We pretty much dominated this matchup. I was speaking to a few people, and Tilflet is new to THL, but he's the person to play Wild the most on Microsquad. I don't know much about Nifola or Elusive Script. I believe Nifola does play a bit of Wild, but not as much as Tilflet. It'll be interesting to see how they do in the upcoming weeks. Let's just ignore spoilers with their record for now.
Yeah.
The thing was, our team decided to all bring Quest Mage. We felt very confident in the deck's abilities, and it feels like this is a must-bring deck to this meta. We also all settled on Odd Demon Hunter, and it worked out very well for us that week. So,
Can't really target out Demon Hunter. Like,
it's a very hard deck to counter, really, and
Yeah.
target. Even Warlock, which, theoretically could counter it, struggles a bit depending on the builds.
mhm.
Things
That's
like
for
Mana
sure.
Burn really counter the deck as well. And so does Consume Magic.
I think you guys, went with smart deck. You got 3 Demon Hunters, 3 Mages, 2 Priests. You all ban Mage. I think that's a solid plan. I mean, Microsquad, Itachi is a fantastic player. You've mentioned SRL is a great Wild player. I wasn't familiar with him, but now I am. And I trust your skill, NJ fan. Obviously, you're on my hero team, and I've played with you, and you're a fantastic player. I gotta stop saying fantastic's not going to mean anything if I keep saying it so much.
I mean,
But,
I feel like I still have a lot to prove, but we'll see. Luck hasn't been going my way the last week, so hopefully things will turn for the better as the season goes on. But let's move on to the next matchup.
Yeah.
So next we have Nuke the Waygate versus Patches Payback. So Nuke the Waygate has done very well. Adamos, I believe, is pretty well known in THL. He's also pretty active in Wild.
Yeah, I've seen him on ladder. So he's definitely
Medusas
active.
and Silver T Fox Demon don't really do much on Wild as much. So Adam is doing a lot for that team and really guiding them. And it seems like for the first week, it did work out. The other team, Patches Payback, is primarily THL guys. Dirty Mike, I was told, has been in THL for a little while, but for this
Jerry
season,
Damage is
for this season,
Jerry
he's
Damage is an old guy.
focusing on Wild only. Jerry Damage, I play with him on a Legacy team as well, so I know a bit about him in THL. And Lefty, who was supposed to be here, he would have been best to talk about this. Fortunately, he had mic troubles where it literally fell apart in his hands.
Yeah. Yeah, I've played with Lefty and Dirty Mike. They were both on Tampams with me for a couple seasons. Obviously, Lefty's on Tampams with us both, NHL. And he's a fantastic captain. I know Jerry Damage is an older THL player, not in age necessarily, but I know of him as being around for a while. But they're struggling. Patches Payback is definitely struggling this season. Doesn't show in this matchup, but they're having a hard time. Dirty Mike pulled out the win, and Dirty Mike's a great player. I have a lot of respect for him for playing with him. And Silver T Fox Demon, he's a good player, but he's usually like a 5 seed, and Dirty Mike's usually like a 1 to 2 seed, or he was in the past. So that's an overmatched matchup. And I think Jerry Damage is usually a lower seed.
He is.
Yeah, so playing Adamos, like you're saying, Adamos is a well-known player. That could also be like an overmatched matchup. So we have some kind of screwed up matchups, but obviously it's a non-PR format, so that's how it is. But yeah, do you have anything, Memnarch?
Not at the moment, no. All I really know, the only person I've seen before is Adamos. And that's just from ladder. I don't know. I'm pretty new to THL as well, so I wouldn't really know any of these people.
Gotcha. All right, just checking.
Memnarch, you should probably take lead for this next one then.
Oh,
do we have a deck list for Dirty Mike or?
Oh yes, we should discuss that actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dirty Mike, week 1, he brought a Bird Priest fatigue deck.
right.
He was able to win with it too.
Oh, I remember. I know what this deck does. Yeah,
Yes.
this was the old Weasel Priest list that you shuffled a million Weasels into your opponent's deck, then you Benedictus them, and completed the quest with Elite Starseeker. And it turns out that the average legendary is slightly better than the average 1/1 bird, or 1/1 Weasel in this case, or in the former case. And that's basically how you won that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, this is he has Benedictus in this, which I think is interesting. He's definitely going for the long game.
Oh yeah, you need Benedictus because when you give your opponent 30/1/1, you can't actually fatigue them.
Yeah, very
in this
true.
list. So you have to run it. So if Nizoth doesn't work out, and Shadow Reaper is really slow, you can't really pressure them with either of them. You have to rely on Starseeker then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense. It just stuck out to me because I just haven't seen the card in a while.
Oh yeah. I remember running into this on ladder. It annoyed me greatly.
It is super annoying, but not the best usually. It's a really good counter Q deck,
Mhm.
but against certain other decks like Q Block, it's going to have a hard time.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So let's move to your first week, Memnarch.
All right. I got. Let me see. Oh yeah, Pasca played Mentalistic. I played Snake Fods, and Jack played Robot Chicken. So, if I remember correctly, Mentalistic beat Pasca 3-1, and Jack won his match 3-1, and I beat Snake Fox. Like I can go. I remember those games because they're all really close. My Druid or his Shaman got a light or a Northshire Cleric from the Maelstrom portal, and then he drew 5 cards against my Druid, and I was so sad. I was super sad. But
Damn.
yeah, I can talk about my games if you want. I think Jack lost because his previous match because his Raza and Anduin were bottom 3 into the Hunter.
Yeah, that is one way to lose the match.
Yeah.
So it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean it happened. We've all been there. We've all played Arena Priest and been there before. Just
Yeah.
Yep.
If you can't draw your
stalled.
good cards,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? So,
Mhm.
should we move
Yeah,
on to the
his-
last match then?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So the last one in the Green Conference for week 1 was You Sunk My Battleship versus the Biters. So this team is led by Ridiculous Hat. A2 Battleship is also a wild player who is new to THL this season. The Biters are made of THL players, I believe. Based Inc. is also on the Wildin Out group. She's not casting with us, but she's in the background as an advisor.
And she may be
A2
a
did
guest
play
next
last
week.
season. Okay. A2 played last season, which is my mistake.
Yeah. He played in pro.
Yes. But he's been joining other leagues as well. And he's been doing excellent in them throughout. I think this is one of the few losses I've seen from A2 Battleship, actually.
Actually, A2, he made a chart of all players who are playing in more than 3 series and found their records, and he is actually at the top. He is the number 1 player in all players who are playing more than 3 series, which I found very impressive.
He's currently 7-1.
Yeah, I think he's 7-1. And I found out that list is actually kind of small. It's like 20, 25 people. It's interesting. Yeah, but A2's on our hero team also, and he's performing incredible.
Yeah. Disco says, everyone except number 3 in this matchup have played in THL before and done well too. Yeah, these are mostly then 2 very good THL teams. So it'll be interesting to see how they go in Wild. I know Based said that she was just getting into Wild. So it's good to see that she was able to win her match. I'm curious to see how both teams do in the future. Seeing that they're mostly THL and focused on THL before Wild and this whole Wild series for the most part, it could go either way, whether they continue seeing success or maybe fall a little bit behind later on if they can't keep up with the meta. So we'll see. Okay, you guys want to move on to week 2 then?
Yeah, let's move on to week 2.
Okay, so we'll start with the Brown Conference then. So we have our first match was THL Fanatics versus Waygate. I believe we updated this last night. So let's see.
I mean, it looks like Wakegate the Hell takes this, but we don't know if
Waygate to
we're...
Hell did take it, 12-2.
Right. I mean,
Ducharmeau swept Mike Lowe. The ban for Ducharmeau was Demon Hunter, and for Mike Lowe, the ban was Priest. We saw universal ban of Priest from Wild THL Fanatics, and Way to Hell went all in on Demon Hunter bans.
Wega to Hell is looking fantastic. They're 2-0. You said Yasharma swept, right?
Yes.
So they're 2-0. That's going to be what, 12. I can't even do the math. They're doing fantastic. But this is a tough matchup against Wild THL Fanatics. They with only 2 points, they're still at 15 points. They did fantastic last week. This was definitely a meeting between two of the best teams in the Brown Conference.
Yeah, Way to Hell now though is at 27 points.
27 points.
Yeah, 27 points in the standings, which is far ahead of everyone else in the conference, really. Which is very impressive.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to catch up.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So the next one was Born to be Wild versus Gonna Be Rich. Beryllium decided not to bring his weird paladin. Well, not weird, just...
Well, it can't be predictable.
Counter Q paladin.
You have to change it up or else you get countered.
Yeah. So he also went 3-0 again. Gonna Be Rich was able to take it after a tiebreaker between The Word and Nate Wolf TCG. Very good on Gonna Be Rich's part. They are in very good shape right now.
Looks like they all brought the same, or Born to be Wild brought the same list they did last week, if I remember correctly.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So they did set themselves up to get countered, really.
Yeah.
Craig of Canada did really well against Blase, but it didn't seem to work for the other two.
Yeah, it's too bad. Danny Donis he got swept by Brilliant. Brilliant's doing fantastic, 2-0. It's interesting. They had a all Warlock ban. And also
that's premeditated. From what I can tell, you can either ban Mage or Warlock. Quest Mage is technically counterable, in the broad sense. You can play 3 favorables into it, but high chance it's not going to work out. For Warlock, it's really hard to put 3 or find 4 decks that are favorable into Warlock. They just had the scam factor for that deck as well because of the they can either bring Mechathune, but the Void Color scam is it's real.
The Mechathune scam is just as real too with Hemet. Turn 8 OTK is no joke, so it does happen. Well done on Gonna Be Rich's part then. Okay, next up we have Chicken versus Detroit versus everybody. So, Mike, this is your team again. Do you have any thing to add? I know you went over some of these matchups before.
I felt guilty, Ron had lost on, I think, Thursday, and then Shadow Ranger and I played at the exact same time, and I was like, we could do this, we got this, and I ended up getting swept, and he ended up with the sweep, and he messaged me first. He's like, I got the sweep, we're doing this, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, man, I got swept. But Doohan is a fantastic player. I think he brought the same lineup as last week, but I respected it. It was good. He had some fantastic. There were original decks. He had Reno Mage. He had Nazoth, Raza Priest. He had Reno Hunter, and I think I'm trying to think of the fourth deck. Oh, Reno, Nazoth, Warlock, and there were. I gotta say they were kind of greedy decks, but they perform well. And
that's an old version, Nazoth or Reno Nazoth Warlock. I remember that in the beginning of Witchwood.
Yeah. It was. Honestly, I was playing your heal burn Raza Priest Memnarch, and I just couldn't put a combo together to knock him down.
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes like you always feel so close to winning with that list, with my list. Like
I know. I was. I was
Yeah.
like on the edge, and
mhm.
at one point he had pulled Spawn with Death Lord, and it was like, what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, but
It happens.
yeah,
So
Mhm.
yeah. But overall, we're still planning on we're planning on being a contender. I can't say that we're not looking good right now, but that doesn't mean
you're
that
down but
we're
not
not.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
We,
week two.
we have a solid team. It's week 2. We still feel good. We're still, we have good energy. I'm still excited for Wild. I'm still excited for next week. I'm going to show up with the same energy. I'm not worried about getting swept. I played against good players. It's fine. So, yeah, and I was happy to get to talk to Dewin and have him join our Wild Show team. So that was a positive thing to come from it.
So, all right. Let's look at the last matchup in the Brown Conference from this last week. We have Explosive Sheep versus Sea of Cheese. Volkai once again went 0-3, but he did bring his Cthulhu Shaman. I don't know if he went with his Shaman in all 3 games again. It'd be interesting to find out about that. His teammates, though, the L word is banned.
Don't worry about it.
Wow.
It's something. Yeah, just
Well,
keep going.
good to know.
Is that a meme? Yeah.
Good to know. So, we see Neji Boston and Bitbreaker doing very well in the match, though, and they were able to help Explosive Sheep pull the victory, 8-5. Sea of Cheese did have a good showing. It's a bit difficult, I think.
Yeah, I think Sea of Cheese is having a hard time, but Sage. I can't count Sage out. I can't count Siege out. I'm not too familiar with Cone, to be honest, but I imagine that he's a good player. These are still good players. It's like I just said about my team. I can't say about my team that we're going to be a contender and great, even though we lost 2 in a row, and not say the same thing about other teams. Who knows?
Mhm.
So
These last 2 weeks for them feel like bulletin board material, really, to look back on and
yeah,
say, we were there, and now look where we are at the end of the season.
yeah,
So
exactly.
hopefully it works out for them.
Yeah, I agree. I am optimistic. Yeah, but I don't know how to say this name. Neji Boston, swept with they had an all mage ban, which was obviously always a good strategy, it seems. Yeah, but that's all I really got for this matchup.
Let's move on to the Green Conference then.
Yeah.
So we have.
All right.
My bad. So first up, we have F2L Viridian versus Nuke the Waygate. So we had a rough showing. There were quite a few 50-50s in this. I know Itachi was 2-2 and then had the Reno Priest mirror. And unfortunately, his combo was bottom 3. And we all know what happens when you can't get your combo pieces before the other Reno Priest. So very tough match for him.
Yeah.
I was also in a difficult spot this week. I actually thought I'd go 1-3. Adam is a good player. I somehow was able to get up 2-0, and then my Warlock, which is pretty hard countered by his lineup, was just reverse swept. I was very upset and frustrated after he had a turn 8 Reno top deck at 1 HP. There's not much you can do there, but it's okay. Yeah, we're just going to focus on coming back next week, doing well, showing that we still deserve to be here, and we should be in a playoff spot, and hopefully it works out. Well played by Nuke the Waygate. You guys fought hard and got a well-deserved win from this.
They're looking good.
Yeah.
You know, they are looking good. But we obviously we're not going to count you guys out. You have a solid team. You guys, and this was something that we Base Inc. pointed out. Was it the Green Conference that they were all sweeps?
Yes.
Yeah. So every match in the Green Conference was a sweep, which is it's fascinating. But obviously, every single one of you guys put up 2 points. It's not like
it's a lot closer than the scores make it to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's really telling. So
no, I mean, you get that extra point for every match you win, and then the extra points for winning. So it looks a lot worse. But I mean, you guys have a really strong team, and I think, I'm so optimistic about everybody. I have a hard time putting people down.
Yeah. That's all right though. It's okay. You can put me down if you want a little bit. Anyways, let's move on to the next sweep. We have Power Creeps versus You Sunk My Hattleship, with Hattleship taking the sweep. Memnarch, you want to take this?
Oh, I got it. This was Jack was really upset with his loss. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but he's making some extreme lineup changes after that. I know Pasca matches was really close with A2. It could have swung either way, if I remember correctly, what he said. But he just thought it happened to be it was the 3-2 thing. It was his combo was slightly higher than Pasca's combo, so Pasca lost. And with me, my druid. I was like, oh, it's an easy win. I just need to draw my poison seeds. I just need to win this 50-50 off Oaken. Yeah. And oh God, there's some real, I think it was turn 6, I decided to Fungal Fortunes, and I hit Vargoth and kill. And I was so sad. I kind of needed those. And without those cards, I lost a lot of speed, which is why and then he had the DK, or Hunter DK, which basically killed me after that because I couldn't make my Jade Slard fast enough. But yeah. It came down to
a fantastic player.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep going, man, Mark. I'm sorry.
I missed lethal with Reno Priest because I can't math. Because I thought my pings would deal 10, but they're dealing 8 because of Felon and Spawn. It's Spawn deals 6. Felon deals 4. Oh, I got this. Then I realized, wait. Felon does 4 and Spawn does 4. Oh no. And I still won that matchup, but I dealt 30 damage to him twice.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was that was so bad on my part, but
yeah.
So bad on my part. But yeah, Bill still played really well. I just felt that Jay Drew let me down, but what can you? I mean, that's Hearthstone sometimes.
It's gonna happen. So
yeah.
Okay, let's look at the next matchup. Biters versus Worst Case.
Yeah.
So this was Base Ink, Number Theory, and Nine Eyebrows sweeping Worst Case Scenario. Worst Case Scenario brought pretty much the same lineup this week, I believe. I'm not sure what they're really doing with that.
No, Snake Fox did not bring Druid last time, if I remember correctly.
That's what it was. Snake Fox changed then.
Yeah.
No, Mentalistic brought Big Priest once again.
Big Priest actually isn't bad, but again, let's say if your opponent brings a Warlock that isn't Mech, if they brought Cube, Big Priest is amazing.
Yeah, but
you kind of just win that.
If it's Mechathune, then it's a very
I thought all lost. Big Priest is one of those high risk, high reward decks. You either crush the lineup or you just die horribly with it.
Yeah, super risky to bring. Didn't work out this week. The other two matches were 3-2, both very close.
Yep.
Something to note is that Base Ink brought Beryllium's Paladin this week, and she won with it. I know I mentioned it before, but it's worth noting again. So.
Yep. I mean, if she thought the Mental was bringing the same lineup, like J Druid, Quest Mage, Big Priest, Warlock, that Paladin list can't lose. Like it's almost a ban. That's almost a ban. That's almost a straight up ban, like right there.
Yeah. One other thing to note, I noticed Number Theory brought Shaman. That was an even Shaman. A lot of even Shamans in week 2 for some reason were teching in Geist. I'm not sure what exactly they were going for with that, because Jade Druid isn't really a bad matchup. You're not trying to fatigue, or you're not really going to fatigue with even Shaman, so it doesn't do a ton for the most part. Just an interesting choice.
It looks like they took it from the... Okay, there's this ladder list that I saw that ran it, and it did really well. So they might be net decking that.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
Yeah.
I don't personally think that this is a skulking Geist meta. I don't
Actually,
think there's enough to
let's look at the rest of his lineup. Warlock, I'm assuming Cube or Mechathun, either one's good in Druid. Priest, is that Big Priest or Reno Priest? And does that have Geist in it?
I believe it's Reno Priest.
Is it Reno? Like, if that's Reno Priest with Geist and he was going for the hard target on Jade.
Let's see.
Even Shaman can lose the matchup against Jade Druid. Like, but if they, like, let's say Jade Druid, like, draws a ton and the Even Shaman plays,
oh, it was Big
Geist.
Priest?
Yeah, so that Big Priest is a hard counter to Druid. So he was going for a full 4x target Druid lineup.
Yeah, this was all countering Jade for sure.
Yeah, so that Geist was probably he probably realized that. Like, even Shaman's really good into Jade Druid, but with Geist, it's like you make the 55 go into like 75 range.
Yeah.
That's smart.
More sense with that.
Yeah.
And it's probably why Robot Chicken Rules wasn't able to get the full win, especially since they brought Druid.
Yeah. All right. Want to move on to...
Yes, let's move on to the last match last week.
Last matchup, yeah.
Last sweep. So we see another 2-3 sweep across the board again. Micro Squad did much better this week compared to the first week.
Yeah, Patch's Payback is having a hard time. You know, they have really rough start to the season. A Micro Squad kind of redeeming themselves from the first week. You know, obviously they got swept week 1 and then they swept week 2. So obviously Tiflet going with a rogue ban, that's interesting.
Well, it'll be interesting when you see what the rogue list is.
Yeah,
let's talk about it. You have Mill Rogue.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I forgot that we had this list.
Yep, he brought Mill Rogue, and that
brought Mill Rogue, and he banned it. That's interesting.
Yeah, Mill Rogue can actually, like, it's actually proven that you can't lose the Warlock and Priest with it, especially Priest. It's one of the hardest counters in the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, it just wrecks Priest. It's so easy to just mill Priest, and then they don't really have any way to either kill you or have anything in their res pool.
Yeah.
In terms of Priest.
I think Tilfit banned it correctly because, like, if Dirty Mike, bans Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
And that means that Mage, Priest, Warlock, only Mage beats Rogue. So
that's smart.
And then
actually Demon Hunter does beat Rogue, I believe.
I said Demon Hunter got banned. So
that's why.
Only them.
Right.
Yeah. Only.
You are correct.
Dirty
Mike went with Pirate Warrior. Oh, he also brought Mechathun Priest.
Really?
Which we didn't include.
Like the Hemet list with Ticking Abominations?
Yes, with Awaken the Makers. It doesn't seem very different. There are no real new inclusions from, like, when the deck was standard. He added Holy Smites because those are, like, grade A removal now.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's a pretty standard list.
Okay. I mean, it was a quick list before if you played it right, and it was, efficient. But it was, it was counterable. Dirty Mike is definitely going with interesting decks. I have a lot of respect for his choices. He's thinking outside the box. You know, he's not just net decking Raza Priest and
He really hates Warlock. Let's just put it this way. This lineup.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for his choices.
I think 2-3, it really says a lot. Like, it could have gone either way. All of these matches, really. So I don't think it was a bad bring from Dirty Mike.
No.
So, yeah, don't be afraid to get out of the box a little bit. Okay.
All right. So next we have what?
I believe
can't see the
predictions, right?
Yep.
Do we have week 3 predictions, or do we have the?
We're covering predictions real quick. So, first match in the Brown Conference. Way Get to Hell versus Detroit versus everybody.
All right. So let's go around and predict. Honestly, each match, like we'll predict each player, you know what I mean? Each individual matchup. And then you'll know who, like, just quick, you know, so.
See, I think Reverb takes it over MTG Squirrel. Mad at Arms and Ducharmo, it's tough to say.
Yeah, that can go either way.
Yeah, that can really go either way. Loki want to give this one to Duin over Gangplank. I don't know. Gangplank hasn't played as well as his previous ladder finishes have suggested, I think. So I want to give that to Duin. So this is going to be a close one, really. I'll give it to Waygate to Hell because they're like they got
the points advantage. Yeah.
How about you, Memnarch?
I feel like very similar to Mike's. Very similar to those predictions. Like, I think that I don't know. I think that Duin is going to be Gangplank and Reverb is going to be NTG Squirrel, but like Duin and MTG Squirrel really they're gonna they know that their opponents are gonna bring, so they're gonna bring some secret spice like they always do. Like they try to win because they try to beat them before the games even begin. Yeah, I know that much from them. I don't know much about Ducharmo or Mad at Arms.
They're both fantastic players.
Yeah,
they really are. They're both great players. Ducharmo had a fantastic season.
Yeah.
Last season. I mean,
actually, I tell you, River, since he's in the chat, he's going to go 3-0. Like, he's going to take it, like, Nick Easy. Like, if he doesn't, I'm going to be massively disappointed. Like, never.
Yeah, I expect full 3-0 sweeps, actually.
Yeah.
I think.
I know Mad at Arms is in here, so I expect a full 3-0 sweep.
Oh, yeah. Never mind, Mad Arms is here, so yeah, 3-0 for him, too. Like, and I can't express my extreme disappointment. Yeah. Oh wait, Ducharmo's going to go 3-0 then. I cannot express my extreme disappointment unless he doesn't.
I am picking.
Yeah, you're right. Unless you guys 3-0 each other, I'm not gonna I'm gonna be massively disappointed. Like,
yeah, there's no in between.
No in between.
All right, I think I'm gonna pick Reverb over MTG Squirrel. I got to go with my boy Ducharmo. I really have faith in him, and I think Duin's going to take it. I played Duin last week, and he's great. I'll be interested to see if he brings the same decks a third week in a row.
Yeah.
But if he does, I think he still can pull out the win.
Yeah. Right.
So.
Next matchup.
Yeah. So we all pick Wiggy at the Hell though. We'll pay attention to that. All three of us pretty much picked the same thing.
Okay, we have Gonna Be Rich versus At Least We Have Chicken. Beryllium has done really well. I think Beryllium will take it over Shadow Ranger. Blase versus Ron Mexico. This is a bit tougher. How much Wild has Ron Mexico been playing lately?
I have no idea. I've never seen him on ladder before.
Mike,
he makes legend every season. I know of. I mean, he made legend in the past couple of seasons.
Oh no!
Yeah. Clearly, it's not enough.
Not enough. See, right now that means I expect.
All right, since Ron Mexico. Yeah, Ron Mexico is going to take this 3-0. Like.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's not much to say. Like, it's going to be a horrendous upset if Blase even takes one.
Yeah.
Game. Like, I can't imagine. It's not in the realm of possibility if he takes two. mainly because Ron Mexico's in chat. But
And
I'm trying to hype him up here,
Yeah.
and he's putting
he's
himself down.
Mike, we're expecting 3-0.
okay, he's conceding that he might lose a game. Okay, that's respectable. Like anything less, like, you don't sell yourself short, man. You're on 3-0 this. Like,
yeah.
Who, me?
no, Ron Mec, or yeah, you
Ron Mexico.
especially.
Yeah.
You especially, Mike.
All right. So wait, who? We gotta go. Who's picking what? NHL. What are you picking?
I think gonna be Rich is gonna take it personally.
That's fine. What are your individual picks?
Beryllium, Blase, I think are taking it. I think you have a good chance against the Word,
Okay.
so I'll give that to you.
All right.
Yeah.
So 2-1. And Memnarch.
I think that's fair. I think Blase probably has the advantage over Ron, despite Ron. Like, yeah, I think Ron can take it actually. Like, it really depends. I haven't seen these. I haven't played against Ron at all, so I don't know how good he is.
He's fantastic. I mean, I can't.
Yeah, and like I just keep hearing how
He's-
great he is. So like, I don't want to count him out, but like just based on what I've seen on ladder, though, I think Blase does have the advantage, so he should win this.
Ron Mexico is like 200 Wild Legend right now, apparently.
Okay.
So that
Ron
does give
Mexico
him
is a
the-
great player. I mean, he is a cross series player. I think he's playing in all 4 league or series right now.
Yeah.
I almost said the word.
So
Yeah, Shadow Ranger and Beryllium. I've played against Shadow Ranger before. This was in Standard. I haven't seen him in Wild at all, and I know Beryllium has done really well in Wild. So
Yeah, see, for me to pick this is really hard. I'm biased. You know, I really don't want to pick against myself.
No,
I
you're
don't
always
hear any
gonna
bias
win.
at all. What are you talking about?
Mike, you always shoot yourself.
Yeah.
And Shadow Ranger, Shadow Ranger has been doing great. He's 2-0. But Beryllium is a great player, and he is 2-0 also. And Gonna Be Rich is an imposing team. So
Yes.
if I had to pick, I'd say I give one to myself because I just don't see myself going through to start. Ron, I don't want to pick against you, but I think I have to give it to Blase. I got to be honest.
It's okay.
I just have to be honest, and I'm gonna give it to Shadow Ranger.
All right. So before we move on, since we were a little harsh on Ron Mexico, let's just give him a quick shout out for being the host of Last Saloon Standing on Tuesdays, and make sure to tune in.
I want Ron to win, obviously, but I can't just pick my team 3-0 every time because that's
Yes,
just
you
not.
can.
Yes, you can.
Why? What's
Watch
stopping
me.
you?
Because this is not. I'm not being honest. Like that's just not. I'm not gonna. What's the point of the show if every week I'm just gonna pick my team 3-0 every time?
That shows great confidence within your team.
Okay.
All right. Next match: Born to Be Wild versus Sea of Cheese. We have Craig of Canada, Danny Donuts, and Nate Wolf against Sage, Siege, and Cone 3357. Given how these teams have done, I really feel like Born to Be Wild is going to sweep this. Unless things
based on the
change. I
sweep.
think
Yeah, I could see this. Like, I don't know Sage, Siege, or Cone. Like, so yeah, I'd have to definitely lean towards Born to Be Wild.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, I mean this is a tough. I mean, Craig
I don't know what to
is,
say.
I think one of Sage or Siege can pull a win.
yeah, I think like
There's a dark horse upset in here somewhere. It's just a matter of figuring out who that's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be enough for Sea of Cheese to pull the win, though.
yeah, I mean, it's actually if Born to Be Wild brings their same lineup again, and Sea of Cheese realizes that, they can get hard countered.
Yeah. So let's see if Sea of Cheese picks up on that.
Yeah,
So
like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Like fool me three
well,
times.
let's just go down. So NHL. What are your 3 picks out of these 3?
let's go Craig, Siege, and Nate Wolf.
Okay. Memnarch.
Yeah, I'm definitely saying. I think it's going to be. I want say that CG is going to win 1, so I'm going to say Sage wins 3-2, Danny Donuts wins 3-2, and then Nate wins 3-2. Like,
Okay.
like nothing against Craig. I just feel like if I think Sage, I don't know either of these players, so
Sage is a solid player. He's he had a great season last season too.
Yeah.
But I mean, in standard. So I don't know his wild experience. I can't speak for that. I'm gonna pick Craig of Canada. I'm gonna pick Danny Donuts. And I'm gonna pick Cone 3357. I'm gonna just toss it out there. It's the battle of the O2s.
Yeah.
So I think we all picked Born to Be Wild, but I don't think that's a surprise. All right.
Last match in the Brown Conference. Wild THL Fanatics versus Explosive Sheep. I feel like Electric Sheep City should beat Volkai, considering Volkai is bringing similar lineups every week.
I mean, Volkai is just playing long con. Like Electric Sheep City is going to see like that, like Shaman deck. So he's going to bring something, standard lineups. Like, okay, I just need to beat the Shaman, and then Volkai is going to bring the hard counters, and then like suddenly it's Electric Sheep City that's in trouble, and Volkai is like been playing this all along.
Yeah, Sheep City's going to bring like board-based aggro throughout.
Yeah.
And then Volkai is going to bring like Odd Warrior.
Oh my
like
god.
Reno Hunter to hard counter it. So we'll see. I think
go ahead.
I think Bitbreaker and Neji Boston have been doing very well. But I know Dr. Bomb is also a super good player.
Yeah.
So I think that first matchup is toughest for me. Since I've seen what Dr. Bomb has been doing in other series. And I know that they're fantastic players. Right?
Yeah.
Mike, now I'm sounding like you.
Yeah, I know. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just my word of the show.
Let's be a little bit ambitious and go, Dr. Bombed, Bitbreaker, and Electric Sheep City.
Okay. Memnarch?
All right, I'm going to say Dr. Bomb. I'm going to say that Wild Fanatics is definitely going to win this one.
Yeah.
But it's going to be close, though. Like, I feel like Electric Sheep is going to beat Volkai. I feel like my low is going to be, like, Bitbreaker. Or maybe, like, I don't know Neji or Bitbreaker, but I know Dr. Bomb and my low. So I kind of lead towards them. But the 2-0 record from Neji compared to the 1-1 from Dr. Bomb, like, I assume it's going to be their Explosive Sheep is going to get a win. Like, it just feels like it. Like, it's going to be a close series.
Okay.
Like, so
I'm
thinking one for Wild Fanatics. I don't know who, though.
Yeah, I'm picking full sweep for Wild THL Fanatics. I think Dr. Bomb, Mike Lowe, Electric Sheep City, I think they're going to... I see it coming. I think we should keep track of these. Other shows are keeping track of their picks, and I think we should keep track of our picks. We're not writing these down, but we should be. But, I mean, I'd like Explosive Sheep to prove me wrong, but I have faith in Wild THL Fanatics, and I'm just going to pick them.
All right.
Ron Mexico has a fantastic idea. Watch the video and then write them down. Like, that's like I didn't even think of that. Jesus. All right, on to the next one.
All right. So now let's move on to the Green Conference. First match. My mouse sucks. Okay, Nuke the Waygate versus the Biters. We have Adamos facing base. Medusas versus Number Theory, and Silver T Fox Demon versus Nine Eyebrows.
All right, so I'm going to go with the hot take. I think Adamas is going to beat base, but the other two matchups, like Number Theory and Nine Eyebrows, probably have the advantage over the others. It's just what I'm thinking right now, like based on like previous. Like base actually has really smart and looks at the other person's lineup and brings like counters for it.
Yeah.
So Adamas might pick on to pick up, like base is doing the strategy where she wants to win before the matches are played. Like, I mean, it's really risky, but when it works, it really works. Because you put yourself in an unlosable position almost. So, yeah, Adamus might pick up on that. I'm not sure though. But
Okay.
yeah, it all comes down to preparation, I believe. Like as soon as we see the lineups, we can tell.
Yeah, I mean, once we have the lineups, it's a lot easier to pick. But I think
But
that's
before
why
then, I'm
this-
definitely saying that the advantage is on Adamus.
Okay, so you're picking Adamos, Number Theory, and 9 Eyebrows.
Yep.
Just start picking no pros here to win. Your percentage will go up. Smile.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong sometimes. They've had some solid teams. What are you picking, NHL?
I feel like the biters are gonna take it. I think Base Stink will beat Adamos actually.
Oh.
I know, shocking. Shocking, especially since I just lost to Adamos this last week.
Yeah.
I'm not salty at all, I promise.
No respect. Yeah.
But I think Base is very good at figuring out how to counter a lineup. I think she'll do very well this week. Let's see. Who do I think is more likely to win between Number Theory and 9 Eyebrows? I'll give it to Number Theory over Medusa.
Okay.
And then Silver T Fox Demon over 9 Eyebrows.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I do know that Silver T Fox Demon has been around THL, but they are captaining this team. So
Yeah.
I feel like they are going to feel like they need to carry a bit more.
I'm gonna pick Based. I'm gonna pick Based Think over Adamos. I think that's a tough pick. I just have faith in her. I have faith in her. I think Adamos is a great player, and I think Adamos is the logical pick. But I can see her doing her research and winning. I think Medusa's is on a roll. 2-0. So I'm going to pick Medusa, and I'm going to pick 9 Eyebrows. 9 Eyebrows is usually a higher seed, and Silver T Fox Demon is usually like a 5 seed. 9 Eyebrows is like a 3 seed. I think 3. So 9 Eyebrows is a great player. So I think he's going to take it. So where I think we're all picking the biters, or is Memnarch? Did you pick new Gate?
I said the biters too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I said Number Theory and 9 Eyebrows would beat.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So we actually we're going to look at our power rankings after that, but I think we're
embarrassing ourselves a bit, but it's fine.
Yeah, we're embarrassing ourselves because we just screwed over our own power rankings.
No, it's fine.
Hot take central.
It's fine.
Hot take central. Let me just.
Yeah, these takes are so hot that we're so confused.
No, the hotter the better.
Yeah.
What can I say? Wild format is wild.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Next up, we have You Sunk My Battleship versus Worst Case Scenario.
Battleship.
Is it power you crave? Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So I know Snake Flaws is really itching for a win.
Yeah, but A2 is on fire.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
I think
I'm
it
gonna
comes down to
say
whether Worst Case Scenario decides to change up their lineup a bit.
I think Mentalistic's gonna take this one. Like he really needs to change up his lineup because Ridiculous Hat's definitely not going to bring the same thing twice, and he's definitely going to take his Mentalistic's lineup into account. So if Mentalistic brings the same lineup, I almost guarantee he's going to lose. But he probably knows it at this point. He needs to change things up. You can't really bring the same thing 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Please say nice things about my team. As much as I want to do that, I can't do that unless it's a hot take. So
Well, I do want to thank Disco for subscribing to THL for 3 months. We do have to be grateful for that.
yeah, Disco here keeping the lights on for us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Disco.
Yeah. So,
but go ahead.
Nice things. Let's see. Mentalistic is still a top player, and if he changes things up, he can easily take on Ridiculous Hat, I feel.
Yep.
The same can be for anyone on that team. Robot Chicken Rules has it a bit more difficult against Bill Snyder, I think. Bill has been killing it in the Wild series so far. I'm not sure if they'll be able to pull the win, but it's going to be close. That's going to be like a 3-2 matchup for sure.
Yeah.
I know A2 Battleship is going to hate me for it because we're on the same team too, and I think he's a fantastic player. But I think Snake Fods has a good chance here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Snake Fods is Snake Fods is solid.
Yeah.
All right, so you're picking Mentalistic, Bill Snyder, and
I want to say the third matchup goes 3-2 A2 battle or 3-2 to A2 Battleship.
Oh.
Actually, but I do think Snake Fods has a good chance of winning that as well.
okay.
So I'll give it to Battleship.
All right, Memnarch.
Okay, so I really want to. I think it's going to be. I think Melon's going to learn from his like previous lineup and then change it. So I'm going to say he takes it. And I'm going to say Bill Snyder takes it because he beat me, and he has to win. So, otherwise I'll be very disappointed. And then lastly, I think Snake Foz is going to actually go full try hard this time. Like he kind of brought similar lineups before. Like he found out what didn't really work against me, and then changed up, and then he learned again like what works and what. So he's definitely like improving. Like his lineup's gotten a lot better. So I'm gonna say he's gonna take it. So 2-1 worst case scenario.
So Disco, I will say nice things about your team. I think you have.
Oh wait, Disco's the captain. Never mind.
Yeah, I think you have a nice team. I think you guys are solid. I know Snake Fods. I've played with them. No pros here tournaments.
Fantastic team.
That's a fantastic team. I've played with Snake Fods before. He's a great player. I honestly don't know Mentalistic. Like I haven't watched him play, but I trust Memnarch and NHL's opinions, and they're saying he's a great player. But I really think Battleship is they're on fire right now. A2 is 7-1 in all series.
So fun story. I actually did my team I did Pasca a disservice because I told Mentalistic how to win the Jade Mirror since I beat him in it in Alpha Force tournament. And it turns out that Pasca got massacred in the Jade Mirror, and he has no idea why.
Oh man! Well, now he knows. But
that was a foot in my mouth sort of thing. Like, because he asked me like, "How'd you win that?" Like, he was literally ahead 8 Jades, and I was able to cheese a win. And I showed him how. Like, I milled my Kael'thas and I still won. It was actually really like he thought he had the slam dunk, but then I can get into the detail, but not now.
There's
yeah. Are you breaking up a little bit?
Certain card there in that matchup that wins the game. So, if anyone wants to look, they can probably see it on the lineup and figure it out themselves. But we'll leave that up to the viewers.
Dude, the smartest thing ever for the Jade Mirror, run Geist. What's your opponent going to do? Draw a bunch of cards?
It was breaking up for me.
Oh, am I breaking up?
You guys are good on my end.
Okay. So, I was joking. If you really wanted to win a Jade Mirror, you run Geist. Because when your opponent plays UI, you play Geist and you're ahead in fatigue, and then you win. And if they don't ever play card draw, you draw all the cards, and then you're ahead in Jades, and then you win.
The true 5-head play.
It's foolproof. I don't see the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I got stuck into my picks. I'm picking A2 Battleship. I'm picking Bill Snyder, and I'm gonna pick Mentalistic too. So sorry, our hat. I think it's bad luck to pick against the commish, but I do think Mentalistic's gonna win.
Yeah, it's hard to not pick Mentalistic after that sweet Twitch Prime bribe.
I know. Disco.
All right, moving on. We have F2L Viridian versus Patches Payback. Easy 3-0 sweep from my team.
This is rough.
But
so does Lefty know about this?
Well, Lefty's gonna know. He's gonna get swept.
Yeah. Oh man.
But really, Dirty Mike is taking the week off. There is a sub. I forgot who the sub is, let me find out. I was told who the sub was earlier. Tony Montana. So I can't speak too much for Tony Montana. I believe he's been in THL for a bit though. So I haven't seen him in Wild. Can't really say how he'll do there, really. But it'll be interesting to see. They have the advantage because they have seen my lineups in the past. Let's see. It's really hard for me to comment on this besides saying I expect full 3-0 sweeps.
See, this is what I'm saying. It's hard to pick.
Itachi is a really good player. Nothing against Lefty. I'm also teammates with Lefty. But they're different. They're very different seeds in other series. So I think Itachi will take it. SRL has done well in tournaments that I've played in with him. He helped me in the Banned from Wild tournament a few months ago and finished 3rd place. So I think he'll do very well with a lineup into Jerry Damage. I don't know how Jerry's going to approach it because SRL has been bringing some pretty different lineups compared to the rest of the players in the conference and really in the Wild series in general. His lineups have been much more aggressive and, it's been working out pretty well actually. So it'll be interesting to see how that changes this week and how Jerry Damage decides to approach that.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what Tony Montana is going to bring, but because it's me,
Yeah.
I have to say it's either I go 3-0 or I'm disappointed in myself.
So you're picking Itachi, SRL, and possibly yourself. You don't know.
I know I sound biased, but
it's fine. No. This is actually.
I was going to pick the same thing. I'm not sure about 3-0s.
Oh no,
but
that's just full meme.
Okay, so I'll pick. I'm gonna pick Itachi. I'm gonna pick you, NHL. But I'm gonna pick Jerry Damage. I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give it to the vet. I think he's got some knowledge and maybe he can pull this off. I just don't see every match going exactly as the way it should. So, but F2L Viridian, you're looking good. You're looking like a really solid team. So,
yeah, we had a rough week last week, but we'll get there.
Yeah. And Patches Payback, they have Payback in their name. They're looking for revenge. I mean, they've had a rough 2 weeks. They're gonna have to come back somehow.
Yeah, let them lose this week one more time, and then they can go on a 5-game win streak. That's fine.
Yeah, then the payback. Yeah,
it's all plan.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as we don't wake the beast.
Yeah.
Happy. So.
All right.
And the final matchup next week.
Final match.
Power Creeps versus Micro Squad.
All right. So I may be a bit biased here. Only slightly biased, but I think we're going to take this. The points are pretty similar, but Jack is really upset that he lost, so he's going to go full try hard. I know. Pasca really wants a win. I talked to him a bit, and I of course want to win too. So I think I'm favored in Nefola, just based on ladder finishes and other tournament results that I've been in. I don't know who Nefola is. I can't say for certain, but against an unknown opponent, in Wild, I believe I am favored. I believe Jack is favored into Tilflet. Again, I don't know who Tilflet is, and I know who Jack is. So for another opponent, I have no idea. Against, I'd have to favor Jack. And Pasca, he went 0-2, but he's still really good. I know he won a prehistoric bucket cup against Jack in the finals, so he's definitely can. This 0-2 is, I don't feel is indicative of how good he is. So I'm going to say he's also favored. So I'm not going to say 3-0s like some people, but I believe Jack and I will go 3-0, and Pasca will go. Actually, you know what? I take that back. All 3-0s.
All three O's. Okay.
All three O's.
All right,
Okay. All right. NHL, it's on you.
Micro Squad is favored because of their captain. Well, I will say, I'm going to go with a hot take and say that Jack goes too into the try hard and gets countered by Tilflet.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's go with the hot take.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to get bold with this stuff. So, I think Tilflet takes it against Jack. Because he is a legend player. He doesn't get high legend too often. I'm not sure if that's by choice or because of other reasons. But didn't seem like a bad player when I played him. Memnarch, I think you'll take it over Nifola. Pasca, I know Pasca is good because, like you said, they won Prehistoric Bucket Tournament. Reminded me, I missed this weekend's, which is unfortunate. But if anyone loses, it will be Memnarch.
Oh, man.
Memnarch is gonna think he has lethal with his Q block and then defile his board away.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna pick. Oh,
you get better. I calculated it too, but then I realized God, that was so bad. Then I realized Void Lord is actually a 6-elf guy because of the stupid Void Walkers.
Yeah. So
don't remind me of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Pasca because Agent PWE isn't playing themselves.
Yeah.
If they were playing Pasca, they would have taken this game. So should have played Agent.
All right. I'm gonna pick Jack. I'm gonna pick Memnarch. And I'm going to pick Elusive Script. Sorry, Pasca. I love Pasca.
All right. Don't worry. I'll make sure that Pasca thinks this is a personal insult, so he'll do better.
Yeah. I don't think, Pasca's a great guy. I've known him for a while now. And nothing personal, but we don't know.
Yeah. All right. Now that the predictions are done, let's move on to power rankings. Since we're already on the
power
Green
rankings
Conference,
times.
Let's do green first.
Can I just say something first before you change it? Did you already change it?
Oh, I took it away.
Okay. The one thing I'd like to say is something bothered me about all this is that there's some players we didn't know, and I think I'm going to try to have us make an effort. I'm just saying this to the players if you're listening and we said we didn't know you. I'd like to make an effort for us to learn about those players. I know we have some info and we can read it. Because I do think it's a little unfair to the unknown players if we just dismiss them as I don't know that guy, so he's going to lose. Absolutely. So I think for next week's episode, we'll try to make a better effort to know all the players rather than just the ones we already know. So if we said this week that we don't know you and that you're going to lose, because we don't know you, I'm sorry. We'll try to make a better effort next week to have a bit more info about all of the players. So
hint, subscribe and bribe us.
Yeah, but and also like Disco said, tell us about yourselves. Because it's a lot of the people. I know the people who are active and talk. I don't know the people who are quiet. So, but on to power rankings. Or no, go ahead. What did you say?
I know when I first started this season, I know a lot of people didn't know me. Mike recruited me, and he didn't really know what he was getting outside of my PR. And then I went into my history with TESPA and previous tournaments. And it helps a lot when, you actually get a history with the player compared to just seeing numbers.
I should have done that.
Yeah, it would help a lot. So, just putting yourself out there really helps in making us understand and make a more accurate power rankings, in my opinion. So, anyway, without further ado.
All right, Green Conference.
So, right now we have Nuke the Waygate on top. Nuke has been doing very well.
And we picked them to lose.
Yeah. We are making some really hot takes here.
Patches payback in 8. Are you mad?
Yeah.
No, but Nuke the Waygate has been performing really well. I know that our team, the Power Creeps, when we're disappointed a bit in our performance. Like, so like I had to like say that we're not. I'm saying as soon as we get our act together, like we'll definitely try to take one from Nuke the Waygate. But until then, like they can have it.
I think you guys are still the villains.
Yeah.
Honestly, you guys are still the villains of this format.
Yeah.
In this conference right now. So, Hattleship has just been killing it too.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
yeah, it's very fitting. They could have easily gone 2 as well. I think if they continue improving, they can easily take the 2 or even 1 spot, depending on how the rest goes. F2 over Viridian, we just had a rough and unlucky week for our final matches. Really, it's
like
that I got
3-3-2, but 3-2-3. That's rough.
Yeah, it's against the number 1 team too, so it happens.
The Biters actually, like we have to put a 5th, and it just so happened to be them, but they can easily be a top 4. They're easily a top 4 team.
Yeah, right now it feels like the Green Conference is a 5-team playoff race. I know it's early.
Worst case scenario is also like up there.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario was.
It's going to be interesting to see when they start taking things seriously and switch it up a bit. So.
Yeah, like you guys said, this seems like Green Conference seems a lot more settled than Brown Conference, like you're saying, and it seems like there's definitely like a top 4 teams vibe. Although we did pick the Biters to beat Nuke the Waygate, and but like we were talking about Patch's Payback, they're having a really rough time, Micro Squad, so yeah. And I don't know. It's hard to make this take, but the Green Conference does seem to have the stronger. It has more powerful teams, and I'm in the Brown Conference.
Brown has a lot more experimentation. To be fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
the Brown conference is just much more open.
Speaking of Brown, let's look at them.
Yeah.
Like so, you can explain this.
So, have it right here. First one, Waygate to Hell. Followed by Gonna Be Rich. Those 2 shouldn't be a surprise. They both done very well. I believe they're 2-0, right?
Yeah.
Born to Be Wild also doing pretty well. Detroit versus Everybody, not bad at 4th. At least we have Chicken, followed by THL Fanatics, and then Explosive Sheep and Sea of Cheese at the bottom.
Like this feels a lot more stable. Like I don't see a massive deviation between like where we place them. Like at the end of the season, it'll be interesting to see where this lines up. But like this is probably going to be way closer than Green Conference in terms of our predictions.
Yeah, I agree. I think Explosive Sheep and Sea of Cheese are having a really rough time right now, and they're going to have some work to do to get back into it. But I think from there up, the top 6 teams are really close. And even my team, we're having a hard time. I'll be honest. But I think we'll get back in there, and I think this is a really closely contended conference, like you're saying, and I think it's evenly spread talent wise too. And I like what Matt at Arms said. I think Matt at Arms he put it perfectly. He said that the conferences, brown is the bread, green is the meat, and an amazing wild sandwich.
How poetic. So, hot takes all around.
Hot takes. All right, so I think we have our deck of the week left?
I believe so.
All right, so
we're going to go back here, and our deck of the week is Pirate Warrior.
So we just have our goal for the show not only is to cover the THL Wild series, but to make Wild seem accessible to people who, aren't Wild players yet. I think anybody could become a Wild player, and I think people will look at Wild decks and see them as being super expensive. Something like Reno, Quest Mage, or Cube Lock, which cost 12K dust and are filled with legendaries. there are competitive wild decks that are affordable, and we're going to try to provide those for you guys. So if you guys want to go play wild after the show, there'll be a deck provided, you know. So that's our goal with the deck of the week every week, because I think I love wild. You know, I haven't been playing wild that long, and I ended up getting into it by crafting a deck like this. So yeah, Pirate Warriors are deck of the week, and I'll let you guys talk about that.
Yeah. It's not the most. Well, it's not the cheapest deck for the first week, but we feel it's a meta breaker currently, and it has a lot of potential.
So, like, for the legendaries, you only really need Patches and Ankar. Like, Leroy, Captain Greenskin, and Lotheb are nice, but Lotheb is actually one of the worst, probably the worst of them all. Because you usually don't need the Lotheb cover to push an extra turn of board damage. Like, you kind of want just another. You can easily replace this. Replace Lotheb with Kor'kron. Same with Leroy with Kor'krons. Like, you just want damage fast, and Kor'krons do that.
Yeah.
Like, other than that, the only two epics are South Sea Captains. Like, so we're looking at a 2 legendary, 2 epic list. This one has 5 legendaries, but like 3 of them aren't really needed. You can just replace them with basics, like Heroic Strike. Even that was
I think Heroic Strike was even better than Kor'krons actually.
Yeah, like I keep forgetting about Heroic Strike. It's like one of those cards that was always really good, or not really good, but it was always like top 30, but it wasn't like top 20.
Yeah, it was like the 20th card in the deck.
Yeah.
Until Kor'krons were cut.
Yeah.
So they're slightly above Kor'krons. I think you can add those instead. You can also consider a Spellbreaker, or if you're like a heavy standard player, you probably have MikeV. MikeV is also good.
Yeah.
I know Ava on the Vicious Syndicate Wild team has been running MikeV over Lotheb in this list. Players like Hijo and Corbett, both very good players in Wild, have been running Cap and Greenskin. If you really want to go all in on this kind of deck.
Yeah.
Like, Crag is like one of those cards. It's not needed, but it's just great. So.
Crag is it's a weird card. Like at 5, like at 7 mana, it's terrible. At 6 mana, it's pretty bad still. 5 mana, it's average. Like I'd play. That's pretty good. At 4 mana, it's like busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you get down to 4 mana, that's where it really becomes a good card.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the deck that we recommend for this week, and obviously it has, like you just said, it has 5 legendaries, or 5, but they are definitely subable. And
wait, there's 6. I can't count. I forgot 6. Finley. Finley is.
But
Finley is not core in my opinion.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's not core.
After the show, if you guys want to ask and talk in the Wild Discord, if you guys want to ask about subs and stuff, if you want to ping one of us, we can talk about subs.
I'm just gonna link the deck list for anyone that wants it in the stream real quick.
And I want to say that we're gonna feature viewer questions as one of our parts of the show, but actually this week we can't do it because I believe Ridiculous Hat and Heat Shock are playing on stream, and we've already gone for 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we're going to have to end. Much. Yeah. So, but this has been a fantastic show, I think. I'm patting us on the back, and I'm saying fantastic again. But I've really enjoyed doing this with you guys. NHL, I really appreciate you opening the stream, put it together. Memnarch, I really appreciate your input. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Lefty, I enjoy your support, and you supported us morally, and you're a part of the team still. And everybody who is in the team, the show Discord, who's giving us info, doing
Saku, thanks for helping today.
Yeah, Saku, Pasca, Disco. Yeah, you guys are all fantastic. Donde. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for watching Wild Now. We will see you next Monday at 9 p.m. EST. Take care. Have a good night.